Here's another math at home lesson for you. So my husband went grocery shopping and he brought me home a treat. I love Cadbury eggs. And on the back, there's all these nutrition facts, which for a treat like this is a little bit scary to look at. But they give all these percentages, but it's percentages for like fat, cholesterol, sodium, and all those types of things. But I wanted to know the percentage of my calorie intake. So all of these percentages are based off 2,000 calories is what they use for their nutritional guidelines when they do this. So here we've got 150 calories, and I want to know what percent of that 2,000 calories it is. Okay, so bear with me here. So we have 2,000 calories total. Now here we can make a statement, 150 calories is what percent of 2,000? That's what I'm looking for. And I've labeled some things here because when we talk about percentages, it's really a ratio of part to whole, a piece of or a chunk of over the entire amount. And for percentages, that part is always 100. So this portion is going to always be 100. Now I'm going to solve it as a ratio first and then show you there are multiple ways, like usual, of solving it. But over here we have a ratio of part to whole. The 150 is the part that I'm going to consume or did consume. And then over 2,000, the total that I'm hoping to consume in one day, equals, and then I don't know what part. That's the percentage. That's the what percentage. I don't know, so I'm going to use a variable of 100. So there's my part to whole scenario for a percentage. I told you that percentage is always out of 100. Now you're going to see some mistakes on this part, but you know what? Mistakes are part of learning. So it's important that you realize that it's okay to make mistakes in math. We call them Monday moments in my class. So here I put my 150 over 2,000 equals x over 100. I reduced once by just taking a 0 from the numerator and denominator. That's dividing both by 10. But then I realized that 5 can go into it. So I reduced it to 3 over 40. So over here I show you a little bit more clear. I started with 150 over 2,000. I went to 15 over 200 and then 3 to 40. I realized actually this version, 15 over 200, I could get from 200 to 100. No problem. So that's using one of my strategies here. This is where I made my error. I times by 2 first. That's not how you get from 200 to 100. You divide. So I'm going to divide both by 2. You can't quite see that. But 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So I found out it was 7.5% of my daily calories. Okay, so how are we going to approach that a different way? Well, we can always cross multiply and divide. So when you take your original ratio and you reduce it, you might be able to just use equivalent fractions to be able to get from one to the other, but that doesn't always work. Your numbers aren't always exactly what you're looking for. So here I did cross multiply and divide. I crossed here 300 equals 40x. Divided by the number with the variable, and I ended up with 7.5 or 7.5%. Now, there's even another way of doing it. Since you have the entire ratio, I'm trying to find where I put that one. There we go. Since you have the entire ratio, 150 over 2,000, you can just use division because every ratio, every fraction is a division problem. You can still reduce, the two numbers in any division problem by a common factor before you start, and then you work with smaller numbers. So here you could do 150 divided by 2,000. You could do 15 divided by 200. You could also do 3 divided by 40. No matter which one you choose, you're going to come up with 0.075. That's the decimal form of that ratio. The percentage version of that, you have the times by 100 and you get 7.5%. Okay. That 100 is that, I call it the magic number when you're dealing with percentages. And I say that the percentage sign reminds you it's 100 because it looks like an abstract or eclectic version of the 100. It has the line and the 2 zeros. So that number 100. Either way, it's 7.5 of my daily calories. I don't eat more than one a day, certainly. So that's just another use for math at home.